Welcome, 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 everyone, to another adventure into Friday webinar. Everyone that is having their video turned on, please turn off your video. Do not raise your hand, and we tell you to raise your hand. So click on your manage participants, turn off your video. Bottom left-hand corner, please turn off your video if you are not a part the video. You are interfering with some of the broadcast. There we go. We got one more person that's got to figure out how to turn their video off. Antoinette, turn off your video. All right, welcome to our Friday show, our special evening broadcast. So everyone, figure out how to pop on into that chat room and say hello, as I will go into the chat room and say hello myself. Pow. Meow, meow. If there's anyone that's been listening for a really long time, you'll know what meow, meow, meow means. As anyone knows what that really means, say yes in the chat room. Yes, Alan, my curtains look wonderful. They're not going to fall down this time, hopefully. No, Mr. Meow Meow was a long-time listener for a very long time. And Meow 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 actually is a long-standing internal galactic joke I've got going on with some special people. Let's just say that. One day I might pull back the curtain and talk about some of the stuff that goes on the shows today. And if you guys want to talk about what goes on behind the scenes and not ask instant gratification, like what's my fucking purpose and I am so depressed I can't get out of it, you can ask me unique questions like what's it like to sit in this chair and do this job? You know, I'm open to all sorts of questions. The only thing I don't like talking about is Jesus. Why? Because it's such a polarized topic. Jesus and the Bible. That's my only limitation. And I do every now and then talk about him because I do get asked, but I ask that we don't do the Jesus questions. Oh, what do we got here? Andrew, tell us about your romantic relationships. You'll have to directly ask me that. Because it's kind of hard to just, spout off about that because it sounds like I'm, granting my own, thing. So when it's time for you to raise your hand and call in people, you have to ask me that question. All right, I'm going to read a speech here now that you've all settled your behinds in. So sit back, relax, allow these words to penetrate thy will of depression, thy will of whatever it is that's in you, and know that we get to move forward by the power of words. This is titled The Next Shaman's Death. To live in the generation of the now, one must take the time to observe their surroundings, seen and unseen. The shaman's path has many valleys, gorges, and mountains that seem impassable at the moment. Though, when we look back with hindsight, they were just expressions of the self-defeating inner programs to not succeed on the path to the unlimited point of view. Each person will come to the shaman's path in a different way. Each being has their own unique blueprint to become maintained, and a being of a shaman's on the path that is defined by the companionship with the internal being you know you are. The shaman is willing to look at his family, friends, and surrounding and chart a course of ancestral balance of seen and unseen energies. The shaman's path is fraught with expressions of former selves who hold illusory power over a future version of you. It is the shaman's duty to heal thyself, know all versions of thyself, be the signature frequency of the message, situation, or potentials created. It is the shaman's duty to neutralize the external and internalize the infinite being on a journey to light, transforming light. The shaman is willing to use the a la carte method of belief so they are not trapped into one modality of thinking, existing, or creating. The shaman goes on pilgrimages to sacred places in the seen and unseen world. The shaman's path has moments where we must confront our former selves who do not want to go any further with our mystical success, a blissfully mythical path of joy and prayer. Each and every person will learn their own way of coming to terms with surrendering to the great mystery. The shaman's path has ever-present moments of eternal acknowledgement of the internal infinite source being we know we are. The shaman is a being of all colors, expressing their form of sacred neutrality in both day and night. Each day we experience light, we come to a transition to dusk and then night. When night is in full bloom, the mystical side of night reveals itself to those taking the time to observe the nightly life of the seen and unseen. For countless generations, people have explored at night, challenged their own minds to not create fear. Each and every one of you have had to learn to sleep at night, had to learn to understand day and night. Night also means in the weaning hours of sleep, we then dream. Oftentimes we wake up during dreams and have moments of lucidity that amazes us. Flying, swimming, talking, eating, gatherings, all things solid, real for the observer. The night work is to help you build the constructs of the mind that go into the heart, then the dreaming body, as we ascend into our sleeping state. This is a way we bring our densities agenda forth into our dreams so that a form of dreaming synopsis can be formed with the construct of the medium of your perception when you awaken. Now is the time to act in the heart-mind protected I am presence framework and begin the great work of self-education of sacred living, self-education of spiritual hygiene, and the self-education of sacred discipline, actualized each day with a joyous heart, not at work doing the process, learning from it and chronicling it for later view to see the growth within the micro moments of the footsteps of life. The choice is easy. The endurance of change, that will determine your commitment to the sacred discipline of accepting and giving in equal co-creation, non-competition, non-hierarchical order. In no time, it only takes a choice for dream space to create a direct manifestation you can remember as dream space real as you awaken from the slumber of domination and control. You build your endurance and strength each breath you take, each sovereign sleep you have, each moment being a match for communion and union consciousness from within. Emanate this, learn and relearn not to emulate. Once you understand emanation of the message, your power, position, and understanding of duality reveal the next layer of sovereign choice to expand yourself in equal co-creation with organic, natural, co-creative evolution with your heart and great mysteries universal heart. The winds of change course as human and spirit nation kind come one step closer to understanding the ever-present co-creative moment of living. This natural way of life exists for all sentient kind living and coexisting on Earth. It is the heart of the horse, which made up the fabric of the dreamscape we all live and dream in. It is the horse who spread the fabric of reality that Spider wove, so we could dream the ever-present co-creative dream, linked to all other realities and dimensions. This was Earth's children's mission, to be the unvanquished dream of free co-creation. Now in this moment, I continue forth on the blazing trail. I now see those on this path have assembled like perfect sections of great mysteries puzzle. I am the living shaman, knowing I must go through regular life reviews so I may let go of that which does not go forth on the sacred path of living. I demand the instant separation of natural incarnation and forced reincarnation interwoven lifetimes, so I may see from both perspectives who I was, and what I was born into willingly, unwillingly, known or unknown. In my search for the truth, I see all sides of the quantum entanglement equation. This I am presence declares sovereign boundaries so we may hold sacred space within each of ourselves without worry of invasion from any source not in alignment with global dream time and unity consciousness for all sentient kind existing and coexisting on all of Earth Mother's realms. I now state, with all ancestors present, I am ready to invoke my natural rights as a universal citizen born to Earth Mother's specific signature frequency. It's time we stop battling the worms and reach for the sky like fresh budding plants emerging from the soul of life. Are you ready to be a shaman on the path? If so, see you in the dream time, brothers and sisters on the path to sacred living. Aho. So, what did you all think of that one? Pop on into that chat room. Write down a process. Write what you got out of those energies. Stretch those fingers. Let your brain go into your nerve centers and execute an ability to type in the chat room. I do a lot of inspirational writing, as you all well know, but I also go on all sorts of things. I not only do sessions, I do consulting work where it's not about the intuition, it's about helping a person figure where they're at in their business world, their life, and create a path to wellness for them. In my journey to writing, I explore all paths. I also write little novels and books for myself. And one day I might put them forward. You never know. And people were asking me, how much do you write? There are times that I could write 100 pages a month, average. And then there are other times 6 to 10 pages a month. And that's just raw writing, not business documents. If you count in business documents, there are 20 to 30 pages of emails and all that other stuff that goes with that. That's what it takes for me to operate at this level. But I also allow the inspiration to really flow inside of me, like a document like that I just read. It comes from my natural experience, my willingness to allow motivation and inspiration to take me to the next level. There we go. We got a bunch of people that have allowed it to affect them. Okay. I'm going to pop in and read something else here for your wisdom advancement. Let me open my doc. I forgot to open it. Oh, this is a big document. It takes a second to open. Hold on a second, guys. I have read this one a few times before in the past when I was promoting Living the Mystical Life Daily 2017's live event. This one is titled Auditing Your Dreamweave. Each direction within the medicine wheel also reminds us of the original agreements between Great Mystery and our original source spark, I Am Presence. The East, impeccable words, integrity, honesty. The South, don't take anything personally. The West, always do your best each day. Take care of yourself. The North, always seek heart-spaced truth discernment. Spider wove the first words of all species kind. Grandmother Spider spoke to the uni-mind of Great Spirit. She went into the pregnant void of great mystery and dreamed up the dream weaver, so it be ready for mankind's awakening to the greater truth. Web, silk, separation of densities, holding together the fabric of the seen and the unseen. Within each point is the twists and turns of other realities, other densities of other species kind. Exploring each line of the weave leads to shifts with our personal relationship with Earth and friends and communities. Not getting stuck in the twists and turns, the rise and falls of the sacred geometries woven and held in each light stream. Standing in your heart-spaced power will allow you to not get eaten by Grandmother Spider. rather learning equal co-creation of free will, of expression, of all potential experiences. When grandmother spider sees the emanation of true heart space, she will then expand the weave of a new web, holding your signature frequency in the new web of creation, and a new dream begins. It will be the twisted hair storytellers who will once again retell the spider's tale of creation and recreation. Within the knowledge of all storytellers is the DNA wisdom of all past stories of other earth realms, direct manifestation of divinity path beings of great knowingness. At some point in space-time, the greater webbing of macrosight will reveal the celestial processes at work. Using spider medicine to weave the celestial dream weave, we're all now functioning on now Earth's dream weaves. Soon, some will change citizenship or get dual citizenship in different dream weaves, created by different generations of beings of light, seeking the wisdom of self-transformation of light. They are following the celestial webs so they can understand the path of the macro ancestors of the stars. The webs have led to Earth's dream weave. We will be the mediums of the dream weave, speaking a whole new language, spider dreamed up, in the first dream, creating the celestial dream space we all live in. Spider is the guardian of the ancient languages and alphabets. To walk the threads of life and maintain balance between the walking and waking and dreaming, between the physical and the spiritual, Grandmother Spider will teach you how to walk the threads. You have given away power to the mission and forgot what the I am's purpose in the mission is. The mission here is to experience the ever-present mighty co-creative moment of the now, in free-willed choice, able to change their path and perception at any moment in time, if you should choose. When you make the individual choice to stop controlling outcomes and allowing the divine forces of yourself to work through you, the great and incredible and mystical things happen in our sacred space. Nothing happens in the universe without your responsibility in its creation. The universe is not working against you. And the medicine wheel teaches us how to use introspection, retrospection, and hindsight in viewing where we may be unbalanced. Friend Butterfly, she comes to the sacred medicine spread, teaching us how to transform our body, mind, and spirit into a new being. Our two-legged shells are mutable with physical exercise. Our minds learn and grow with knowledge. Our spirit transmits limitless energy in a continuous co-creating process. When choice of change is at hand, use the butterfly's ability to form a chrysalis of life webs around you. The webbing energy of the larval butterfly has the power to shape and reshape our body, mind, and spirit with the possibilities of the future selves. Surround yourself with the mental image of a weaving cocoon of energy. This weaving energy starts above your navel. There is the connection to your dreaming body. From that point, the cocooning energy will weave its way through your physical and light bodies. It will be your duty to yourself to explore this image before you fall into the slumber of dreams. Friend butterflies, last message to you before you lock and load. Do your personal best to come back with good friends. Do your personal best to not be full of hate. You are in a never-ending cycle of transformation. At times, we take breaks from our personal change. Other times, we extend our vacation from self-transformation. Then we choose to pick it up where we left off, and we learn we lost nothing and gained a whole new sacred point of view. Change is no more than accepting a new phase of life. Aho. All right, wiggle your brain a little bit. Allow some flow into your fingertips. Come on into that chat room. What did you empathize? What did you feel? What did you mystically experience from that? Allow the power of sharing to come through you. Yes. Waking up in the dream. So many of you starseeds are doing that over and over again. So much is available to us in these moments. An unlimited point of view. We should just stop arguing for your limitations and start arguing why you can do it. All right. Let's everyone who wants to have a conversation to me reach into that participants button and click raise your hand. Raise your hand. If you want to ask me personal questions, raise your hand. If you're an instant gratification person, lower your hand. The other day I did a show and somebody asked me something and I had to tell them I'm the psychic here. I went back into the chat room and looked at some of the stuff. I like to have fun with everyone, but then there are times that I have to have these serious moments. And some people see these serious moments as little butt kicks, but in reality, they're just holding you accountable to yourself. All right, Robert, let's spin up that wheel of infinite callers and see who is the next person that wants to have a conversation.
All right. I'm going to take Brenda. Brenda, you're unmuted with Andrew.
Brenda, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. Hi.
Hey, where are you calling from today?
I'm in Michigan.
Welcome to the show, Brenda from Michigan. What do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about dreams and
Great.
synchronicities.
Sure, shoot.
Okay, so I had a dream about a month ago that I fell into icy water and I was saved by a black dragon. And then the next morning, the first thing I see online is a black dragon. And then I just keep getting synchronicities of the black dragon in connection to a specific person. And yeah, I don't know what that means.
What kind of person? Is somebody you really like, or is it a teacher?
Oh,
What is it?
I like him, but I don't know him. He's famous. He's a rapper.
Okay, who?
His name is Min Yoongi.
Okay, was he like a Korean rapper?
Yeah. And he said yesterday, or like 2 days ago, he released a new video and he called himself a dragon. And then they also released a new video where during his rap, there's a black dragon. And I'm like, that's a little too much to be a coincidence, so I don't know.
So you were rescued from freezing water.
Yeah.
Well, that represents the stagnation of life that you're in. And the music is coming to you as a form of inspiration. And more than likely, you have some form of ancestral link to this particular Korean rapper. And dragons are very powerful teacher spirits. They are there to help you understand that there's something greater than this 26-letter alphabet we use. They use what's called the 1 million letter celestial alphabet. Can you imagine working with a 1 million letter alphabet?
Nope.
Ponder that for a second. You would be able to truly vocalize what you're feeling in all different angles instead of being limited with your emotional expressions. You'd be able to develop concepts that would greatly increase what's truly in your genius mind. Dreams drive us forward to do things. But I would suggest for you to start drawing dragons. Do you know how to draw?
I can try, yeah.
You could also go and pick up a book on how to draw a dragon, quite literally. There's
Yeah, I've been
books out there that show you, paint by numbers or draw by numbers. Start trying to actually draw dragons.
Yeah, I was thinking of buying the webinar and the PDFs that you have about dragons.
Those are good ones. Yeah, the third one is really good too. That's got the dragon revocation in it.
Okay, well, is there any connection to that guy, or is he just like an image that my mind picked? I don't know.
He's an ancestral link that's helping you get out of the freezing waters that you're stuck in.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you think I will meet him in the physical?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No, you've got some
someday.
growing to do. You've got some growing to do. What's stagnated in your life?
Oh, everything, I guess. But I'm working on it, and I've made plans, and I plan on traveling and moving back to Mexico eventually.
Okay, so what are you doing for a job now?
Right now, I'm babysitting.
Mm-hmm. And do you like it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what would you rather be doing?
That's the thing. I have no idea.
Yes, you do. Come on, you got to have desires. You sit there.
Oh,
And, come on, what do you want to really do?
I just want money without having to work for it, to be honest.
Don't worry, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's the dream.
If you have money and not manifesting, what's the point?
Mm,
What are you, a slouch?
I guess so. That's why I'm stagnant.
No, you're stagnant because you're bored.
Mm.
And you don't have anything inspiring you or motivating you internally. Everything's an external stimulation that either turns you on to a subject or turns you off to a subject, instead of you turning yourself on to a subject and saying, hey, I want to let this motivate me.
Yeah, and I could use the dragon thing to inspire me, I guess.
That's not going to inspire you.
No?
No, come on. It's just the next shiny object. You're going from shiny to shiny to shiny to shiny. The dragon will lose its luster in a month.
Oh, it's already been a month and I'm still excited.
Okay, another month from now, it'll lose its luster if you don't really put some effort into it.
Okay.
You ever want to be a rapper?
I used to listen to Eminem when I was very little, but I never really wanted to do it myself.
Well, maybe you just need to sit and do what's called the board rap, and just start to do some riffs.
Oh, imagine me as a rapper. Oh my God.
Yeah. What's your cool rapper line? Come on.
My cool rapper line. I don't have one.
Make one. Be creative.
Not on the spot right now. Let me think about it.
You get up off the couch because you're a slouch. Whoop, whoop. Get up off the couch, Miss Slouch. Channel into sloth medicine. Whoop, whoop. She's a sloth. Sloth. Channel into sloth. Moving at 1 mile an hour. Come on. Try. Rap battle with me.
I didn't know I was going to get an Andrew rap today.
No, I didn't either.
That's awesome. No, don't put me on the spot. I really can't.
Okay, that's your rap. Nope, don't put me on the spot. Nope, can't take it. I'm a slouch.
Okay, there you go. I did it.
Yeah, there you go. You did it. It's that easy. You're a sloth on the couch. Okay, made you laugh.
Thank you.
Didn't make you cry. There are little things you can do to motivate yourself every day. And making a 5-line rap every 5 days might just actually help you get out of being bored. Okay? You ever thought about being a singer, like a regular song singer?
Yeah, when I was little, I used to put on shows.
What kind of shows?
Just like in the living room for my family.
Were you like Mariah Carey, hero kind of stuff, or what?
No, it was
Midler, like wings under my wind under my wings.
It was kind of rock, actually.
Okay, what?
Well, it was a Mexican artist.
Okay, try some.
Not right now. I'm not gonna do it.
Why? Nobody can see you. They're only hearing you.
I don't even remember the lyrics or anything. Don't make me do it.
Okay, I won't. But everyone else is saying you can do it.
Thanks. But nah. If I start singing, my family's gonna come into my room and be like, "What are you doing?"
Okay. What other things do you like doing?
I guess that's part of my problem. I don't really like a lot of things.
Why have you become so shallow then? because that's being shallow.
I guess the only thing I do like is like looking into stuff like your work or Teal's work or, reading about stuff like that.
Waiting for the great change to happen while you're just sitting there and reading.
Yeah, and hoping that something happens, something interesting.
It doesn't work that way either. It's an individual awakening. The greatest lie the light worker community is saying it's a collective awakening you're all going to watch on the news. Not. You still got to do the inner work for your own awakening to be a part of the Great Awakening. And if you don't do the inner work, you will miss the Great Awakening, like failing high school and having to go to summer school to graduate.
Okay. I'll work on my individual awakening.
Will you?
I'm trying. I think I am.
You're trying. Well, I've got to try a little differently. You got to get joy and happiness out of it.
Yeah, I guess my little raps are going to make me laugh.
Yeah. Try some consciousness rap. Seriously. To make a conscious rap about all the yoga moms who are dumb as fuck. I know I'm about to get my ass whooped from that one.
Yeah, you just hurt some of your listeners.
I know, not intentionally. I know it just kind of rolled out. Okay. There's the 5 levels of wokeness. You know, how many people just wake up and they jump onto Facebook and go, I'm awake. Okay.
Oh yeah, I see people talking about their awakenings, and I'm like, I haven't had one, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you have. You're here on the show.
Yeah.
Okay. You just haven't validated it.
Yeah, I don't see it as like, when I think of awakening, I think of like the Buddha or something.
Yeah, but that Buddha also spent 20 years meditating in a cave.
Yeah.
Have you ever even been in a cave?
No, I haven't.
Kind of short on the 20 years in the cave thing, huh?
Exactly. That's why I don't call myself awakened yet.
But you are. You just keep hitting the snooze button.
Well, I'm here right now, so.
Yes, and you're awake right now.
Yeah.
So I want to hear you say, I am an awakened being.
I am an awakened being.
I will not go back to sleep.
I will not go back to sleep.
I'm going to live this dream today.
I am going to live this dream today.
Okay. That's all it does. That's all it takes. That's baby steps.
Okay.
Now adult steps. Do you meditate?
Yeah, sometimes.
What does sometimes mean?
Oh, like once a week.
Okay, and how long do you do it for?
About 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to exercise only one time a week for 30 minutes, do you think you'd actually, get any healthier?
Nope.
Okay, so how do you going to think that you're going to get more spiritually healthy with only, let's say, meditation or prayer or any of the other things you hear me talk on the show? You only do once a week.
Yeah, I only get the inspiration when I'm like, my anxiety gets bad. And then I'm like, okay, it's time to meditate.
Yeah. Self-fulfilling your own gratification to end an instant gratification anxiety. What other things do you try to do? You use the contract revocations?
Yeah, I did the ancestral one recently, like yesterday and the day before.
You can try doing those on a regular basis. You think you can go 14 days of doing one of those revocations once a day?
Okay, I'll do it.
That's self-discipline. That's what you got to train yourself on, self-discipline.
Okay. Could you clarify what you meant with the ancestral link or something?
Which part?
With the rapper, like you said he's an ancestral something?
He's there to motivate you. A reminder that powerful spirits in the world that have made it to a world famous stage, and that many of them have the dragon energy, and that you have that dragon energy into you, and you too could also be on the world stage just like he is if you should get out of your own way.
I like the sound of that.
Just got to start believing in yourself.
Yeah, aren't I a little too old? I'm already 26. I don't know.
You're not old. You're young. You still got decades of mistakes ahead of you.
Yeah, but to be famous, I mean, don't they like 20-year-olds or something?
No, there are plenty of famous people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s.
So I'd have to wait until I'm old.
No, you just have to get out of your own way and believe in yourself.
Okay, so you think singing is the way I gotta go?
Only you will really know it until you actually do it. You could be a stand-up comedian. You could be a stockbroker. You could be a spiritual teacher. You could be any of that. But you got to start doing something other than sitting on a couch like a sloth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't do the couch yoga anymore.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of it.
All right. You actually got to get out and do something. So your rapper name could be the Couch Slouch. You could make a fun of a lot of people with that. Just telling all the different couch potatoes that are out there and the different levels of it.
Myself being one of them.
Yeah, the best way to make comedy is make fun of your own dumbass things you do. Everyone will get it because they all do dumbass things too. That's the nature of comedy and rap too.
Oh yeah, and like Eminem, he mixes both of them.
Right. I mean, some of his stuff is brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
No, there's this white guy that's like from Canada or something like that, and he's the greatest rapper ever will be. He's a stand-up comedian who takes suggestions from the audience, random suggestions from toenail clippings to this to that, and he'll put it all together in instant rap.
What's his name?
I forgot. I have to check it on YouTube. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up for everyone. Oh, come on, computer, work for me. Chris Turner.
Chris Turner. All right, I'll have to look him up. Yeah. If you say he's the best.
Yeah, he is a comedian, and he does the most incredible freestyle rap you have ever seen. His shows are freaking mind-blowing. And I've been threatening the audience for a while that I was going to put together a stand-up comedy bit. And in 2020, I am going to go to a comedy club that has agreed to let me do a 20-minute stand-up comedy bit. And I'm going to take some of my greatest stories from behind the scenes, some of my greatest light worker stories and jokes, and I'm going to go on stage for 20 minutes and do it for personal fun and advancement.
Are you going to share it with us, or is somebody going to be recording?
I'm going to do it live and record it and all that. Yeah.
Cool. I want to see that. You don't have stage fright?
You know how much stage work I've done? I've been on stage so many times, it's like putting on morning clothes.
I wish I was like that. I haven't been on a stage since I was like in first grade.
What are you afraid of a stage?
I don't know. I think I don't like having everybody look at me.
Wah, 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 wah. Don't be afraid of the stage.
I'd have to get over it, but it's hard.
I had to get over it. I embraced it. All I did was embrace it. And I said, I'm going to go up and have fun and be myself. 20 years later, here I am.
Yeah, well, you're good at this kind of stuff.
I had to earn it, let me tell you. I had a lot of speeches to write.
Yeah, you're so used to being in front of the camera now after so many hours.
You could be in front of a camera for hours too if it was just a standard FaceTime between you and a friend. That's no different. That's what it feels like to me. I'm just FaceTiming friends.
It's a little different on a stage, no?
No. It's all perspective.
Just FaceTiming everybody on the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Stage is just perspective. Ring-a-ding-ding. All right, darling. Thanks a lot for calling. And I got to move on to my next caller.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Rap goddess. Bye. Give it a try.
Bye.
All right. All right, Robert. Let's spin up the wheel of rap god callers and see who comes up next.
I think the next person will be Maya Sam May. Watch out, Andrew. She's coming your way.
Maya, are you there?
I'm here. Hi.
Hi. Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Sweden.
Welcome to the show from Sweden, Maya. What did you think of our opening speech today?
I caught it a little late, but yeah, it resonated a lot. I have seen the spider thing, and I do ceremonies with ayahuasca. So that has made me allowed to see spiders and feel connected to them.
Great. So what did you want to talk about today?
Well, my question is, since I work with the medicine with ayahuasca, she directly told me in one ceremony, like 2 years ago, that I should contact you. And I have been living hidden with my 3 children and working with the spirit and ayahuasca and shrooms from my house. And I've been doing some spiritual work alone. And I have been fought a lot. And it's been a real struggle. And she told me to seek you up. And I haven't been able to because I don't have the means, the money. So this just came as a real opportunity for me to talk to you. So I just took it. I listened to you yesterday and I thought, yeah, okay, let's do it. And because I've been like doing so much work in the hidden that I just feel that I really needed to talk to you about why would she even say to me that I should contact you. And it was not just her, it was my star family from Sirius. And I don't even believe in stuff like that before I'm told about it. So I'm very skeptic. But all of this just comes to me from somewhere, and I'm not really sure what to make of it, but what I can say and what I can back up is my actions. And I have a lot of integrity in my work and in my life. And that is what I'm seeing is becoming the metaphorical pictures I'm getting from spirit in what I am. So yes, I just want to talk to you about it. And there's a lot of people there, but I'm just gonna have to like take this chance and talk to you anyway, I think.
Okay. So in the ayahuasca ceremony is where Great Mother came to you and said to contact me.
Yeah.
Have you practiced any of my work, like the consciousness strike or the contract revocations?
No, I'm sorry to say I haven't. I've looked at some on occasion your programs on Facebook. I didn't know you had this kind of distinct work done. So I just recently found out that you had these other things. But I've been reading the things you wrote and like statements so that I can like let go of stuff and contracts and stuff like that. I even said them on ceremonies sometimes to just cut some stuff off. But it's really hard.
Tens of thousands of people for over almost a decade now have been using all forms of my work in their medicine ceremonies. The World Iboga Foundation recommends it. The World Ayahuasca Foundation recommends it. Why? Because it works. And it's an individual way to reclaim your power when the journey gets tough. And it's about reclaiming power from the parts of yourself you gave away power to yourself in. As well as when there's an external force that says, hey, you're not going to have a good experience. But getting back to surrendering. So the point that Spirit was trying to make to have you connect to me is to open you up to a whole new avenue of what your potent power really means to this world.
Yeah.
I had to accept my potent power. And 20 years ago, I went to explore medicine with the Huicho Indians. And I began to use mushrooms on a regular basis until I
Yeah.
decided I didn't need to use them on a regular basis anymore. They had taught me what they needed to teach me. And then as I grew more advanced, I learned about ayahuasca, DMT, all sorts of things, and became a shaman and was able to run those types of ceremonies until a
Yeah.
point where I didn't want to run those ceremonies anymore because I saw that people were using them as a religion, and medicine
Yeah.
was never meant to be a religion. It is something that is there to help those break through blockages they can't break through, or if they have long-term issues with skepticism itself, they will be able to break the toxic skeptic within inside them. And then there are those who are true spiritual journeyers. And those are the few that I wanted to work with. They already had the skill sets to understand what it takes to be in journey space without medicine. And they're able to use medicine in a journey space in a co-creative process in which you can wake up from your downtime, share what's going on with you, so the other people can co-create also and create what's called a dreaming medicine group. Now, I was part of a dreaming medicine group called the Dreamers of the Southern Skies for many, many years until the shamans that ran that got a little too old and it was time for that iteration to end. But I took those teachings to myself and I contemplated them for another 4 to 5 years and let them brew inside me until such a time those teachings were meant to come back out. Medicine is not something that I wish to do regularly and train with people because most people haven't put the level of effort it requires to be spiritually hygienically clean for the months before it and the months afterward. Far too many people think that ayahuasca will clear up everything. It won't. Oftentimes it'll make things much worse because most people are masterful avoiders of what they do. Mm-hmm. But in your situation, ayahuasca is trying to tell you, you have to step in your power. You have to get over stage fright. You have to get over being hidden. You have to get over not wanting to be a public figure. You have to get over the whatever money issues you have, and that you can make money. You're just choosing not to, and that you're actually blocking spirit from helping you make money.
Yeah, that might be so. It's really difficult though.
It's not might. It's not might. You are. Because you aren't accepting your potent power that you could be running ceremonies both with medicine and without medicine and make money off of them more than just $10 a ceremony. You cannot martyr yourself for other people's evolution.
No, the thing is that since I was a child, I've been kind of conscious of my journey, and in some level, I just knew that people were hurting, and why they were hurting me was because they were hurting more. So I just knew that, and it was like my knowing kind of protected my heart. So even if they like damaged my body, my heart was intact. So I could just keep on doing this.
But you cannot let them damage your body. Those are not people you want to do journeys with.
No, well, this was not with the medicine. This was when I was a child, and I've been.
You were doing journeys as a child. You just didn't realize it.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, it for me it was sexual abuse at the time, but what I understood with ayahuasca,
which is its own negative DMT release in you.
Oh, I did not.
You naturally produce DMT, and when we are at extreme forms of abuse, we produce high volumes of DMT. It's what creates the fractalization of our personality, so that we can deal with the extreme traumas.
Oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. I did not know that at all.
Most people don't until you get really deep into what training the body how to create its own DMT release means. Because that's what I learned from the Dreamers of the Southern Skies. You don't need any medicine that can have a DMT release like that. And I do it on the radio shows all the time.
Yeah, I can believe that. But I've done it with holotropic breathing. That was before the medicine.
Very easy, very easy, very easy. Mm-hmm.
So I saw so many visions. I could not even imagine I could do that. And through meditating, I started seeing parts of the Mayan culture. I got the name Yucatan, and so I believe I'm a part of the Mayan culture in some way. And but then I started with the medicine, and I think I'm like on a conscious game trip kind of thing, because I saw this big dragon, and after seeing that big dragon, it everything just my vision, my ability to see visions just went away. They just something took it away. We had this collective uh, experience where everything got dark and very difficult, and then I could not see anymore, but I could hear. So then I had this opportunity with a boyfriend to he was a mushroom cultivator, and I just had the opportunity to have the mushrooms at my house. So I would eat mushrooms, and ayahuasca would come through the mushroom, so I could work with her anyway. And I talked to some kind of council, and they said that I'm doing great. And for me it's been difficult because I have such low self-esteem, so it's been hours and hours of ceremonies just trying to convince me that I would even be worthy to be doing this work with them, and I just didn't understand it. And but slowly I began to understand it, and just like it's just because I became it, because it was such a calling in my heart for helping this energy, because I believe that I'm here to get it, that energy, that dark
Sure, you
energy.
are. But you're not here to
I'm here-
process the dark energy. You're here to understand it and then to re help people experience the understanding of what it is, not through the
yeah,
direct experience. I'm a master at releasing people's traumas. You've released a lot of your traumas, but
yes,
the residue of the traumas has left you not able to evaluate yourself. And that's why it took so long for the energy beings to convince you you're worthy, because you never
yeah,
thought you were worthy. You didn't have
yeah,
decades of self worth built into you.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I feel
Mm-hmm.
very wounded. I mean, I just got out of one again. I have this tendency to meet the wrong guys, and since I work with the medicine, in the end ayahuasca always shows me that yeah, he was not the one. And it's just like all these lessons, and they turn into devils, red devils, or like beings, like reptile beings.
Mm-hmm. Why do you have to
Like
be in a relationship?
I well, I live isolated, it's boring. I'm very social,
Why do
and I
you live
live
isolated?
because I'm hidden with my children, because they were through abuse with their father. The father beat at them very severely, and he drugged me, and he used me sexually on drugs. I didn't know it before I got to this place.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're recovering and healing from that, and kids go to school here, but I
Why
don't
isn't
have
he in
any.
jail? Why didn't you report him to the police?
I did, but I did. It didn't go through because he just. I've seen this thing with the Matrix creation, how they do it, and it's just like it. They're so stubborn, so they just create with stubbornness. And this guy, my ex, he was just so stubborn. He just said, "No, I have not done this," and it
Mm-hmm.
just, it just became that way. No one did anything to him, and he's like, he hasn't done anything, and he still says that he hasn't done anything. So I'm fighting social service and police and every kind of thing that can help me and my children. They're not listening to me. So today went to the doctors and told the doctors, you need to help me. My kid is not good. He doesn't feel well. He has asthma. He can't sleep. He grinds his teeth. He's overweight. Like everything that is being done to us is just so much. And I'm just taking on everything by myself, because I try to give it to others. I try to show them, but they're not ready. And I know if they help me, they would get so much back, because it's like my life is kind of a gift kind of thing for humanity, I guess, in some way. But they're just not getting it. And it's not about me gaining anything, it's more about them gaining something through helping us, because we've been through so much, and it has this like thing, why. So and that is my journey. I'm just in search for the why of everything I bump into, like everything. I never ever point finger at anyone before I have pointed it at myself first. So I just check myself over and over and over again until I'm very certain, and then I can start looking at the other one and see where I can modify and do and act. So it takes time.
That right there is your limitation. You're over processing everything.
Yeah,
Not
ayahuasca
allowing
says that too.
you're not allowing mystery to be mystery. You're still controlling your reality. And let's be blunt, you could move to another city where your ex isn't at.
Yeah.
But you decided to hide and squirrel yourself away and become lonely and reach out to these people who are not signature frequency matches to you. And you're always trying to teach and fix everyone. There are people you cannot teach and you cannot fix.
Yeah, that's true.
Stop trying to teach everyone. Stop trying to control the reality. Just like in ayahuasca, the more you try to control it, the more it's going to kick your ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The
That
same
is really
comes with the real world. Stop trying to control it.
just be
But you've
myself.
been traumatized so much out of
Yeah.
your traumas, you are doing it to control the reality out of the nature of your traumas.
Yeah.
Sweden's a big country. Move to another town.
Well, I'm like, now we're not hidden anymore, but it's just difficult. I'm on social welfare and I'm just trying to get by, because ayahuasca has told me to write a book about my life. She's just waiting
Then
for
write a
me.
book. Write a
Yeah,
book.
I'm doing.
What's stopping you?
I don't know. It's something. It's something, but I'm on it.
Because you're still trying to control the reality and find companions to fill yourself with because you're lonely as hell.
Yeah, I am.
If you don't admit you're lonely, you have some issues going on.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's true. Yeah.
You're lonely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I am lonely. Hmm. Yeah, I just see so much, and with ayahuasca I'm
You
seeing these.
also got to stop seeing. You see way too much. You also
Okay.
gave me some very key words. You have to explore everything. And there's a curiosity learning about you, and curiosity kills the cat. You cannot learn out of curiosity for curiosity's sake. It will only lead you down a path of self-destruction.
Oh wow.
There are some subjects you should not be curiosity looking into, because that what you look at all the time looks back at you.
So what are you suggesting? Like, how do I?
Stop trying to teach everyone. Stop trying to control your reality. Stop being an over learner. Stop being an over processor, and stop being an uber spiritual person. You're too spiritual. You're so far up your own spiritual ass, you can't even tell the difference.
Yeah. It's just who I am. I don't know. It just I.
No, you chose yourself to be that way. Every step of the way, you compounded your own choices until where you're at today. And ayahuasca said, come see Andrew, so you could hold yourself accountable to not being a spiritual snob, because that's what you've become.
Wow. Yeah.
You're a snob.
Huh.
If it's not spiritual, you don't sniff it. And you sniff all the spiritual
Well,
stuff out of
you know,
curiosity, and you run
I
into a lot of things you
disagree.
shouldn't sniff.
You know what? That I need to disagree with, because as I see the spiritual, I see it as everything, and everything is everything. It's dark, it's light,
No, it's not.
it it's the
That's a
human.
baby's view of the universe. And no, it's not.
It is not.
It is not.
How so?
It's forced evolution or natural co-creative evolution, two separate holograms, one fake hologram, one real hologram, but they're both real to those dreaming the great dream. And until you understand that we're in a dream inside a dream inside a dream, and we've forgotten which dream is the dream, you'll understand why that's not real. And so if you're outside of the dream, it may have a value to it, but it doesn't have a value in here.
But how do you heal someone by telling it it's not real?
You don't heal people, they heal themselves.
You have to make the platform for it.
No, you don't. Shamans before us never made a platform for it. They just gave you the medicine and said, do it.
I'm talking as a mother because I have kids that are really wounded.
And they shouldn't be learning spiritual stuff at that young age. They're supposed to be kids.
They are. I'm not talking to them like that. I'm just.
But they're absorbing all of your spiritual energy, not realizing you're such a spiritual person. You're emanating it to them all the time. And the kids are taking on your depression.
It's not because I want it. You know, ayahuasca has told me stuff that
I get that. You've done too much, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Because I would not, you know. For me, I mean, all I want is breathing. I want to breathe. I'm tired. I'm very, very tired. Just want to like
You're
be able
traumatized.
to rest.
You're traumatized. You're hurt. You're angry. And you're trying to heal from it all the time. And you don't know how to be a normal person without the traumas. And spirituality is a way for you to use philosophy and ideology to cover up some of the traumas you have by talking through them.
So why would she say something like, why would she bring in my kids in it? Why would she say that they are from Sirius too, and that we have like stuff to do here?
Because she's
like
trying to make sure that you as a mother understand you have to step up, so when your child is 12, 18, and 20 years old, they're able to step into their roles and have all the fundamental things and traumas healed as they get older in life. The more healthy you get, the more your children will get double healthy. For every ounce of healing you put in yourself, they'll get 5 ounces of healing.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's what I'm trying to be, a mother that feels good about herself.
No, so you're trying to be a mother who's a philosopher, who's an ayahuasca person, who's using ideology and philosophy to drive forward your hologram. Very different.
I'm okay with that. If that's the truth,
but that's not your real role. That's not your real role. You're just becoming a pontificating philosopher about an ideological subject matter.
So can I ask you something very, like, this part I was not gonna ask because I'm really, I don't like names or like positions. I'm not a hierarchy person at all. But why would ayahuasca say something like, I mean, what is a dragon queen?
If you don't know, I can't tell you.
Well, I know it, but what is it for you? For me, it's about exploring everything, accepting everything, realities as such, and working with that.
I wrote a 7-page document called the Dragon Revocation Invocation, and I have another 27 pages of document that defines all it is, was, and ever will be about dragons in this dimension and every other dimension, time stream, galaxy, and universe.
Okay.
As my own personal philosophy, that's not an ideology. That is not a limitation to me.
Exactly. Dragons, that for me, that is the rainbow dragon is about that. No limitations at all. And I have.
But you as a human have to have limitations, or you won't be a part of the great Dreamtime Awakening. You cannot be a limitless being. You can have an unlimited point of view, but you have to have a form of limitation to be a part of the great Dreamtime Awakening. It's a fundamental rule of the reality.
Yeah, for me, I answer the density of the reality in which I am. So I understand that I need to protect my body, I need to protect my vessel, but I don't need to protect my heart.
Yes, you do.
Because my open heart protects me from, if I understand, it protects me. But in matter,
no, not in this reality. Unfortunately, not. You've spent too much time on the other side, darling. I'm going to be blunt. You've spent too much time on the other side, and the ideology of the other side is now driving you to think an open heart will save you. That's love and lighter bullshit until you're broke and on the street and don't have anything left.
So what
your open heart will be crushed by beings looking for another open heart to crush.
Yeah, but I'm not talking I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing, because I know love can be harsh as well. I'm not a person that just says yes to anything.
Until
I'm aware of that.
Until you get lonely enough and bring the wrong person into your life.
Yeah, you got a point there. I cannot say no to that. You have a point there. Mm-hmm. But okay, I know my time is limited, so like I need to know what would you suggest me to do, because I can drop everything. You know, this is how tired I am of doing this work. The only thing I do like a lot is ayahuasca. She's my sister. Like she and I, she's my family for real.
She's not. And no, she's
yes,
not. That's the first thing to no. And I'm going to say such an emphatic no that your soul has to hear that. She is not your sister in the physical world, period.
No, not in the physical world,
but you have identified and manifested her as a physical sister as part of your avoidance technique of what's really wrong with you.
What is really wrong with me?
She is the great mother.
Yes.
She's not your sister.
So listen,
you are trying to learn how to be a great mother. That's the path of ayahuasca.
That is what she tells me I am.
Sure, you're on the path to learn what it takes to be a great mother.
She calls me mother creation.
Yes, because she's trying to get you to evaluate yourself.
I don't do that.
Nope.
It's okay.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be where you're at. Otherwise, you wouldn't be where you're at. You have to look at your circumstance that you have created. Yes, there are other people that help create your circumstance, but you still have a part in that creation, and you could change your circumstance at any time through choice.
I just want to be able to breathe. I'm really tired, Andrew. I'm just
I know you keep saying this because you spent too much time in ayahuasca land, too much time on the other side, and you don't know how to breathe here anymore. You don't know how to inspire yourself with breath alone. You don't know how to find the joy in the moving of the seasons and the passing of the stars. You were abused so much as a child and abused so much as an adult. You've only seen the abuse as the lens of perception. You got to change lenses and see it a whole different way.
But just why won't this let me do then?
Because it's called, you have to do the inner work internally, externally, and eternally. And if you don't do the work, you won't advance. And there's a lot of work you've completely avoided.
Such as loving myself.
Mm-hmm. As well as letting go of the traumas of what the men's have done to you. Being the victim, being the abuser, the abused.
Yeah, that's my Crohn's. Okay. Okay, I understand.
So my words is to get your head out of your spiritual ass.
Done. No problems. I'm a fast learner. Okay. And I really appreciate
you've gone far too far in the spiritual world. Stop being a spiritual philosopher for some time and learn what it means to live in this world. Would, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Okay.
Well,
gotta actually do.
My life is not that easy.
Yes, it is. You just made it that hard out of your perception and out of the tyrants that have been around you that have been abusing you. You're a classic victim. And you don't want to see that. You still don't want to see you're still a classic victim, and even it's in your language.
True.
You have all the classic victimhood stuff. That means you really haven't done the majority of the inner work to let go of being a victim. You've done a lot of inner work, but not on letting go of the victim because you still identify with it.
I guess I do. I mean, I know I haven't healed my body. I know that.
Why? Because you like being the victim. You like being the victim.
I don't like being no victim. Who likes that?
Yes, you do. It was beat into you and abused into you. That's what you grew up. As I said, you grew up with a different lens of perception, and you can't drop the old lens of perception to see the natural co-creative evolution that's around you.
I'm going to think of this. I thank you so much. You are Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
So much
welcome.
respect to you.
And let me give you a little advice of what's going on with your, how many children do you have?
3.
How old are they?
They are 15, almost 14, and 10.
All right. The one that has the asthma, it's very,
Yeah.
very, very important that you go and do some heavy duty research on nutrition and asthma. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you said there was another one that's overweight. Which one is that one?
That is the one. So you're right with
asthma.
nutrition and asthma.
It's
Yeah.
absolute nutrition. Absolute nutrition. Okay. The youngest.
That is the youngest.
He's the youngest. All right.
Yeah, and he has these itches under his skin, and he says that he has
That's a
he's
ghost.
afraid of his thoughts.
That's a ghost.
Yeah, I
He
think
is
he has
terribly haunted.
Yes,
And
very.
if you were to pull your head out of your spiritual ass, you would have seen it.
I see it. I see it.
But you
And he
didn't do
hasn't
anything
done
about it. You didn't do
He
anything
hasn't
about
done
it for the
it.
last 5 years.
Yeah, true.
You got to stand up and be the living shaman, not the ayahuasca philosophica anymore. You can clear energies out fast, but you got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that
Okay?
today.
That's just you being a victim again. Oh, I can't clear my own child. I'm going to go do some ayahuasca.
Yeah. Well, it's not ayahuasca, it's shrooms, but I hear
Whatever. Medicine.
Yeah, I hear you. What can I just ask one last question before I go?
Yeah.
My middle kid, he's almost 14. And this is really disturbing. I really just want to know why they would tell me this. I've been told that he is like dark and that I am here to help him to change.
By who?
What?
By who? Who told you that?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca or mushrooms?
Ayahuasca.
You were actually on Aya, not on mushrooms.
Yes. One time on mushrooms, one time on ayahuasca. Certain.
Once again, I'm going to say you've gone so far up philosophy of spirituality that you can't tell the difference anymore. And you missed the whole point of that actual message is.
But that was really in the beginning.
Doesn't matter. Medicine is
spooked
past,
me.
present, and future simultaneously existing, and you should know this. But because your philosophy and ideology is so important to you, you have missed many of the infinite teachings.
I just wanted to heal, that's how all this started.
You want him to heal, have him be in joy
No.
and happiness, heal yourself so that he heals himself.
Yeah.
Darkness is easy to stop in children. Very easy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, darling, I got to let you go and move on to my next caller. Thanks for calling in, though. You've been a great teacher to a lot of people.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up that wheel of callers and see who comes up next.
Okie dokie. Our next caller is Sam. Sam, you're unmuted with Andrew.
Sam, are you there?
Hi, Andrew. How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing today? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Manchester, England.
Manchester, England. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about?
Well, before we get going, I just want to give you a quick thanks because I spoke to you about 3 years ago and you gave me some really great advice. I don't know if you remember the call. I had a spiritual, going on the theme with ayahuasca and plant medicine. I actually had a spiritual haunting with a iboga that I did in an unceremonial setting.
Mm-hmm.
And you recommended me to do some cranial psychotherapy, and it was a huge turning point for my journey at that time. Cleared away all the stuff that I had. With iboga, I leveled me up several times of where I was mentally and emotionally as well as spiritually, and it really set me on the path to what I was doing on my own path of personal development. So yeah. So
how many cranial sessions did you do?
I had 6 or 7. I had about 5 in a row every week. And then I had 2 top-up ones for like spaced 1 month apart to integrate the changes I was told by the therapist that I had.
Yep.
And I was going to do them until the end of the year. This was like, I started them in June, December, but because of work, I couldn't keep them up. So the effects kind of tapered off a little bit. I wasn't quite a 10 out of 10, but I still retained a lot of this. I still integrated a lot of the changes.
So did you have like emotional releases on the table?
I didn't have a myofascial release, no. And I know what they are because I actually went on to, like, it was such a profound experience. And you actually said to me at the time, you said you would make a fantastic cranial circle therapist. And I had a big choice point at my time. At that point in my life, it was either going to, after those sessions, I was either going to study cranial circle therapy. It had such a profound impact on me, and with your words as well. After having the effect and having heard you said that, I'm just like, wow, right, okay, I'm going to explore this. So I was looking at an institute in England. It was either doing that or going traveling in Thailand. And I was actually speaking with my therapist at the time about this. And I said, I can't decide what to do. It's like, study cranial sacral therapy or go to Thailand. And she's there, we'll just follow your excitement. I'm there, yeah, you're right. And she's there, so what excites you? I was there, well, going to Thailand really excites me more. And it was absolutely the right decision because it set me on a path. I'm tangenting here a bit. It set me on the path to learning lots of healing arts and eventually learning cranial sacral therapy for like 1/16 of the price it would have cost me in England.
Beautiful.
With a great therapist. I mean, I'm not by any stretch my knowledge and skill set still needs working on. I'm still going to supplement my education, but it was a great grounding, a fantastic first experience with the modality. And I also, prior to that, about a month or so being into Thailand, there was an incredible amount of synchronicities that took place. I ended up going down to Koh Phangan and I did a cacao ceremony with a guy, an allopathic doctor from Australia turned holistic health practitioner. And he had offered a variation of quantum healing hypnosis. He called his variation soul line therapy. It was more of a linear based regressive hypnosis technique where you go back through your past traumas one by one to the root cause. So I learned that during a 6-day retreat paired off with other people. I had this incredible awakening. I'd already had several stages of awakening by that point. And I met my spirit guide. I had all these cosmic experiences, and it was kind of like the watershed moment of me learning that I was going or had to become a healer of some description, which has kind of led me to where I'm at now. Now it took me a few years, but initially I built a website. I built several websites which I couldn't market. So I took a detour, I learned all about marketing, and now I've come back, rebuilt another website. And I've got we've got the healing skills, got the marketing skills, and I'm just in the process of launching or building up my website. I'm doing a 90-day blog challenge. I'm doing a blog piece every day to really try and put myself out there amongst other things. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit of a wild tangent, but yeah.
So you've had one hell of a journey in your awakening.
Yeah, that's not even really scratching the surface. That's
you did the work and you reaped what you sowed.
I would contend that with you actually, Andrew.
I do remember talking to you about your iboga scenario where it was really screwed up, and the fact that you followed through with it, bravo, because you're free. You're free.
Yeah,
free to do whatever you want. Free to do whatever you want.
I'm free from that scenario. But, and I don't know, maybe you can tell me, I feel at the moment I'm being a little bit too hard on myself with my journey. I always feel like I should be doing more. And just recently, I'll tell you this is another interesting thing. This was like a bit of a world upside down moment. I bought a marketing course at the beginning of this year to feed into my spiritual stuff that I want to market. And I thought I'd make some money doing it whilst I was learning this stuff at the same time. It was pitching digital marketing services to people on LinkedIn, long story short. I did it for about 4 months, found it just absolutely raked all the flesh from my soul. I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't do it. And at the time, I was cleaning up my YouTube account, getting rid of some spiritual stuff that I never used to watch. And I vetted some of the stuff before I did so. And this woman had a video on a Moldavite. Never heard of Moldavite, been quite into crystals for a little while. She told this incredible story about the transformative qualities of Moldavite. So I was like, I think I need some of that in my life. Wasn't looking to buy any crystals. I bought a Moldavite and a Hercum diamond pendant. 2 weeks of it arriving, I just hit the wall with the marketing stuff. I was like, right, I'm rebuilding this website. I actually bought your Living the Mystical Life Daily course in March and didn't touch it because of time constraints. All of a sudden, I'm quite connected to my higher self. I can sit and have fairly open dialogues with it, but will now have really worked on that aspect of my spirituality. And I was just getting through loud and clear. It's like, you have to go and do Andrew's course. Forget building this website. Go and do Andrew's course right now. The healing stuff will wait. It's imperative. It's vital for your development. Go and do it. It's just take a month off and do it. So I did. And I had some incredible experiences. I kind of mucked some of it up a little bit, but I'm going to do a second pass because the way I saw it is, it's not a finite experience. You know, as you kept on saying on the Living the Mystical Life Daily podcast show, it's a cyclical process. You know, you keep on going back and going back, and it's like you release layer upon layer and add layer upon layer. And that's kind of where I'm at. I've rewrote the script many times. I had to fit them to my own voice. That was one of my big challenges, because your vernacular is you. And it's great for you, but I couldn't put my own, as you like to put it, personal power behind it. But once I did, because I'm a writer as well, I studied writing in university. Once I did that, I found there was some real great depth in there. There's some really, really transcendent moments. There were times that I thought that the teachings almost had, and probably did in fact, literally have their own consciousness. Yes. Because I felt 100%. Sometimes I would clock out. I wouldn't quite be present with the teaching, but a new layer would present itself almost automatically. It was if the teaching was saying to me, "You're ready for this new layer now." So, like, I remember particularly with the heart meditation, like with the pericardium bit, it's like I've re-recorded it like 30 times at this point. And during the fifth or fourth time in, like when I got to the rearmoring layer, I didn't really feel a tactile sensation of the armoring at that point. I couldn't quite visualize that, but it just came on all of a sudden. And it shocked me. It was like, oh, wow. It's like I was totally passive and it just came on. And it's like, then that's what led me to think, wow, these teachings are more than just words on paper. They're actually a living, breathing thing themselves. It's incredible. Yeah. I've talked a lot. So.
They were written that way. They were inspired from the living, breathing emanation of that frequency of what it takes to be a sovereign being in your heart. And it was me taking what I call the 1 million letter celestial alphabet and translating it down to 26 letter English alphabet, that people can go and use the vernacular and use their wordsmithing process. I left enough in the vernacular open that you can be inspired to take it to whole new layers. So you can go through the same experience I had when I was writing those. Mm-hmm. And then the 20 plus years of knowing the teachings and then writing them and rewriting and writing and rewriting and writing and rewriting them until such a moment they reached the level of they needed to be for what Living the Mystical Life Daily had to be at the moment that it was released.
Yeah.
It's an inspiring story. An inspiring story. Bravo, man. Bravo.
Yet I still feel I'm not really tapping into myself as much as I should be. I'm giving you a highlights reel. Anyone can give a highlights reel.
Sure, but you have a highlights reel no one else has. You're a LeBron James or Rafael Nadal, whatever you want to call it. You're a high ender there, but you still don't feel like you're achieving at the high level
because I'm not out there offering myself as, my own highest version of myself. I don't have my practice set up yet, although I'm sure it will come. It's just moving at a snail's pace. I still feel like I'm treading a bit of water. My discipline with my spirituality still isn't great. I'm not doing the meditation every day. I'm like the other caller. I'm exercising once a week.
I get where you're at.
3 times a week.
You've done so much work. You want to take a vacation from the work, but the overachiever in you is like, fuck you, no vacation.
Yeah, there is kind of that. I go through peaks and troughs, as we all do, as it says in the butterfly teaching. Is it auditing the dream weave? Right at the end, sometimes we take a break from our work, but we come back with a greater perspective.
And this is where you're at. There's the one that's cracking the whip on you is saying no vacation, but there's still another inner part of you. It's like, dude, I need to process some of the shit that I went through and go out and drink one night and go see some friends and get laid. And then when I'm ready to come back, I know I haven't lost anything.
See, that's the odds with what I'm like. My guides are telling me though. Like my practice at the moment, when it's on point, is I've been doing the Sanctuary for All Souls every morning. I've been trying it at different points during the day, trying to find my hour of power, because I've been finding that quite hard.
When you get into doing 3 or 4 sessions a day, you'll know what your hour of power is. Yeah. When you get into doing 3 or 4 sessions a day, 4 or 5 days a week, you'll know what your real hour of power is.
Yeah.
So let me help you out here. I really think what's really going on in here is like a marathon runner, you've run a bunch of 50K races. And now you have to retrain your body to go for the 100K race. That means you're not racing 50K races anymore. You're learning to train your body, mind, and spirit for a 100K race. So you need to redevelop the way that you work. What I would advise for you is to do what I call calendar magic. Now, I may have talked about this in some of the Living the Mystical Life daily courses, where you actually put on your calendar, you do a 1-hour ritual here, you do a 1-hour meditation here, you give yourself 30 minutes of cranial sacral there, and you have to hold yourself accountable to your own calendar. And at the end of every week, you look back and add up the amount of hours you have given to yourself. And at the end of the week, you add up the number of hours you give yourself, and you go back and look, did I write anything down about the 1 hour I did here, the half hour I did there, so that you have a new chronicle as the practitioner. And these are your notes to your past, present, and future self. And then when you get to 3 months of notes, let's say you give yourself, I must practice 6 hours a week. That still gives you a day off. And that means that during that hour of whatever it is that you're going to do, at the end of it, you're going to write something in your calendar. So when you go back to look at it, you have notes, hindsight notes. What is going on is you've advanced your spirit so much, the old way of hindsight and the new way of foresight is hard for you to jump into because it's so much higher frequency than what you were years ago. And you need to have the lateral and the horizontal views and the vertical and horizontal views of vision right now. You're narrowly focused on opening the business. What you should be more focused on is giving yourself the cranial sacral, because you can do cranial sacral, remote cranial sacral on yourself. Did your teacher ever teach you how to do that?
No, we did 2 levels. We did it was actually cranial biodynamics. It was the one where you use like 5 grams of touch. So it wasn't
I'm quite familiar with it.
Yes. We did 1 week on the body, then we did another week on the teeth. I didn't enjoy the teeth work at all. But no remote. I wasn't aware of the remote stuff.
Yes, that's out there. It's a whole different journey, but don't worry about the remote work just yet if you haven't been taught about it. Giving yourself your own cranial sessions on a regular basis, and then understand you've got to start figuring out what it takes for you to just build the clientele. Give sessions away. Okay. Do you have a little office space you can use?
Well, I'm giving tons of sessions away. I'm like, that's one of my main things at the moment.
How many are you giving away a week?
Sorry?
How many a week are you giving away?
I'm aiming to do 1 a day at the moment. I'm contacting people at the moment to schedule them. I was just doing some before you started the show, actually, because it's about a 3 or 4 hour thing, and I tend to work with a lot of people in the States, and because of the time difference, and because I'm trying to keep the blog going, I need to kind of manage my time. So I'm going for one a day at the moment.
Hands-on?
No, it's a remote session. I'm not actually doing the cranial work at the moment. It's the quantum healing hypnosis I'm actually pushing.
Okay, I understand. And those are 4-hour sessions?
Yeah, inclusive of an interview and stuff like that.
And what are you charging for that?
I'm not charging anything at the moment because I'm just giving sessions away, but they will be priced at $222.
Oh,
US.
Stop that 222-333 shit. It looks dumb.
All
and this is to anyone else out there that's going to have a thing. If you're going to put 111-222-333, you are failing at marketing. Absolutely failing at marketing. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Second thing is you need to be doing a lot more than $200 for a 4-hour session. It's $50 an hour. You can't live like that.
I know, but that is with a view of increasing prices as my experience and skill level dictates.
You're more skilled than you admit. And you have to figure out that these 4-hour sessions have to be well over $500, or break it up into 2 sessions at $250 a piece minimum.
I was considering that, but then as I was considering it, I was just like, am I just like cash grabbing here?
No,
or is that
you're
is that
asking your value. You're asking your value. What did it take for you to learn all this stuff? How many years did it do? How much turmoil did you have to go through to learn it? None of them have learned it.
True.
How much effort have you put into it? So you're at a state where you have to value yourself. And as soon as you give a valuation to yourself, things are going to look a lot easier for you.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago, I had a caller call in that was a psychic. It was an $80 psychic. And they've been doing it for 15 years. And she wants to know why she can make no money because you're an $80 an hour psychic. That's why. You're a $50 an hour healer now. What does a doctor at a medical place charge? Thousands. Is there a part of you that's having a tough time charging?
It's not that. It's because I thought I was fairly valuing myself.
No, at 4-hour sessions for what you're doing, you're still only making $50 an hour for $200, man.
Yeah. It's part of it was also a accessibility.
I get it. You're trying to give away free sessions to grab, but you could just put a website. You don't need a gigantic website that just puts the price, what the session is, and your blog that connects to it, and people will start paying. Okay.
Yeah.
You also need to get a physical space where you can start advertising to come do the hands-on healing so that people can come to you for a package deal, cranial sacral therapy followed up by your quantum healing hypnosis scenario, so that you get them for a full-on deep cranial, and then they come back a couple of days later physically to your space or through the phone and then do the hypnosis, quantum hypnosis release. Mm-hmm. Or they come in one day and you got to have a day package, price of a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have access to physical space. My mum owns a hair salon.
Right.
Has a spare room.
You as a cranial practitioner should make no less than 90 an hour minimum. And this goes for everyone out there, no less than 90 an hour. And if you are doing less than that, you are truly devaluing what it took to learn to do what you're doing.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, I see someone saying in Yulia doing suggested donation prices. If you're doing it at donation, you're not valuing yourself. Unless you're doing it. Yeah, but the thing is, suggested donation is never going to value the way you want.
Oh, I agree. Suggested donation is just a byword for free. I would never do that.
Right.
I would never go down that route.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want this to appear instant gratification, but I feel like I'm very, very, I know what my path is. So I'm not asking that. I feel like I found what I want to do and what I should be. Anything that you could tell me about myself and about my skill set as it relates to possibly my soul family or anything else relating to that might be helpful going forward? Is there anything that I might not be aware of that I could be aware of?
All the people that are waiting to have sessions with you over the next 10 years are going to be spiritually contracted from the fetus in your mother's womb. And many of them are going to have contracts for you, specifically you, and no one else to do a healing for them. And you're going to be vital in their journey to the great Dreamtime awakening.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have many people that come and that will reject a healing from you, and they may email you 9 or 10 times in a year and never have anything. And you got to learn not to be suckered by them. Those are going to be the trailer trash soul family that want to bring you back down to a lower level, but don't want you to evolve. You're at a point where you've learned who you are and what you are. And now to maintain your emanation, you need to stand your ground so that the potent and powerful spirits that appear in front of you are able to get their potent and power energy moving. You're not just a mechanic to put the hood up and change the plugs and wires on a person. You're there to help them find their individuated awakening. You're here to be a teacher to them far more than where you are right now. 5 years from now, you're going to be doing stuff like I do, publicly on stage with products.
I do kind of foresee that. I've done a lot of my own past life work and through self-hypnosis, and I know in a past life in the Middle East I was an orator. Mm-hmm. And I've traced the steps from where I am now. I've seen what steps have led me to get to where I am now, and I see the steps that have been laid before me now. Just small little skill increases, like doing the blog. Mm-hmm. Writing the blog is going to help me increase and already has helped me articulate myself better in the spoken word. And that's going to feed into public. I know it's going to feed into public speaking somewhere along the way. I just know it is. Mm-hmm.
I'm affirming and confirming that for you.
You absolutely are, yeah. And if you got the time frame exactly, exactly right as well. I do foresee about 5 years, give or take.
But between now and 5 years, how many paid clients are you going to do? And understanding every paid client's expanding your infinite potential and point of view. And once any practitioner reaches that 100, 200, and 300 client mark, they have a good understanding of all the potentialities of traumas that are there. There'll always be new, unique traumas that come and evolve and wow the shit out of you. But once you've done about 300 clients, they all have a very similar pattern and web to them. Be it the victim, the tyrant, the abuser, shame, blame, or guilt, depression, regression, obsession. Okay. Most of the time, the client comes in, it's a past life thing. Nope. It's what you did this lifetime that allowed a past lifeline to come in. And yes, you got to shut off the past life energy, but the trauma's still in here. That's why cranial sacral is so vitally important, because sometimes the trauma's so bad they get locked in the body and they're like, I healed it. I did the past life regression. Why does it keep coming back? Because it's locked in the body. And once you unlocked your body trauma from your iboga ceremony, it gave you a potential to potentialize things that weren't potentials for you anymore. And you're at a point where you're trying to repotentialize your potentiation itself.
Yeah, that's a very, very good way of putting it. Repotentializing my potentiation. Yeah, I like that.
That's right. Because you are the only one that will actualize the potentials.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a little bit more. You've done a lot of good work. Acknowledge that every day. Don't become passive of the work that you've done. You got to start holding some regular victory ceremonies for you. Okay?
I did do my first fire ceremony. This is another thing, an area I know I'm falling back into, like, not acknowledging my victories here. I only did my first fire ceremony about 4 weeks into the 6-week Living the Mystical Life Daily course, just through putting it off and putting it off. And I eventually did it. And it was really, I could feel the ceremony. I could feel the fire before it even lit it. I could feel, I went out to do it. It was during summer still. And I went to do it after dark, about 8:30. By about 7 o'clock, I could feel like the ceremony was already happening within me. And it really was quite a unique experience, but I know I've only scratched the surface.
So that means you got to put on your calendar magic somehow, some way, that you got to get a lot more fire ceremonies in. You've got December 17th to the 23rd. You have a massive solstice coming for you.
We have.
Use it.
You know what? Sorry, I keep on interrupting.
Go ahead.
Fire party at our house, but we was cancelled for various reasons. I still live at home with my parents. And my dad we have an acre-long garden. My dad's cut down all the trees on it, and he's built up a huge wigwam. It's like 10 foot tall of logs, which didn't get burnt because we didn't have a bonfire night party. So you've just sparked an idea that will be a huge fire for the solstice.
See if you can get 3 days of fire. Don't burn up all the wood in one shot. You got 6 days in the window of time. See if you can get 3 days out of it through some hardcore ceremonies, some hardcore prayers. Bring all the documents from Living the Mystical Life Daily. Pray over the wood months ahead of time or a month ahead of time, so that wood has been saturated with your intentions. So potentiation of the fire changes the actualization and potentialization of you being around the ceremonial fire. And as you add more actualization energy to the potentiation that's already within the wood and the prayers that's stored within it, you will unlock whole new codes of understanding for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Make it about healing. Make it about prayer, connecting to your spirit guides, understanding your past, your present, and future, and allow hindsight to be a major part of the ceremony so you can look back at what you've done.
Yeah. I think that is the big takeaway here. I mean, I've heard you say it so many times, celebrate your victories.
That's right. Celebrate them.
But I don't. But I will. I will now.
There you go. All right, brother, I got to let you go. This has been a great call. Thank you so much for calling in. You've been a really good caller.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. Great speaking to you.
Call back after you've done your big fire ceremony.
Yeah, I will.
Take care. Thanks, Lazy. Oh, this has been a special show. Thanks a lot, everyone. All right, Robert, let's take us away. It's time for little Andrew to put his feet up and have some dinner and relax on this night.
10-4. Good night. Good night, everyone. Great show. That was definitely good. I'm glad we ended with that one. That was a great testimonial and experience.